Alright, good morning everybody. I want to give you a quick rundown on how we format a hard drive. When working with Final Cut Pro 10, and in this class especially, you want to have your own portable hard drive that you're going to be able to use in the different labs that you work in or at home or wherever you are. You want to be able to have your projects with you. So setting up your hard drive is key. Take a look here. I have in my Finder my hard drive plugged in right here. I've called mine Jerusalem. First thing to do is find that drive. As soon as it's plugged in, it should recognize and show up. Yours should be pretty well empty, especially if it's a brand new drive. If you're using a drive that you've previously used for something else, or you have had at the house for a while, you're going to want to make sure that it doesn't have anything important on it, or that it can all be erased. Especially if it was used for a PC. If it was used for a Mac previous, you're probably going to be okay. But if it's been used for a PC, you're going to need to do some things to it, partition it, change the format structure so that it can be used on both machines. To check that, you're going to highlight your drive on the left side here and hit Command-I. That's just a way to get an info box about that drive. Here's Jerusalem, here's how big it is. If you can look right in the middle here, it says Format. You're looking right here where it says Format. This one is formatted Mac OS Extended Journaled. It's just fancy words that says it's formatted for a Mac. Yours may say FAT32 or NTFS. If it says NTFS, we've got to do something with it because the Mac will be able to read it, but it won't be able to write anything to it. So you'll be kind of, caught cold in your tracks before you even get started. So for formatting, we need it to be one of two things. If you're going to use it solely on Macs, and maybe it's only for this class, or maybe you have Macs at home, you're going to format yours Mac OS Extended Journaled. Great. If you're using this on PCs and Macs back and forth, you're going to want to use a format called exFAT, EXFAT, and we can set that up right here on the Mac. So to do this, you can go to your Applications folder. I'll show you two ways to get here. Applications folder. Scroll down to the bottom to your Utilities folder, double click in there. So now that this one's loaded, I can double click to fire that up. Okay, here's Disk Utility. Take a look. Very simple. I'll close this so we're not confused. Boop. In this area here, you'll see all the drives attached to this computer. This one is the internal hard drive. Anything that you have attached is going to be yellow. It kind of shows the external hard drive. And this is the physical drive. This is the one that I've named. It's the same physical drive. That's why this one's kind of tabbed in, spaced in. Because if I had different sections on this drive, I could give them all different names. You want the very top yellow one for the drive that you have in there. If you have a Seagate, it'll have a certain name. If you have a passport from like this one, it'll be called My Passport. If you have something from LaCie, it'll be called LaCie. It's pretty simple. You want the top one right there. After you get the top one, you're going to come over to Partition. And here's your current partition layout. And to erase everything, set it up the way we need it, you drop down this first one right here that says Current Partition Layout. And you can choose one partition. And here's where you decide what its name is. I want to call this one, I like Jerusalem, it's pretty cool, but I'm going to call this one Drusilla. And then the format, I work entirely on Macs. That's where I want this drive to work because it's going to be my media drive for all my projects. So I'm going to leave this right where it's at. Mac OS Extended Journaled. That's perfect. From here, I would go in and hit Apply. It would say, hey, are you sure? I'm going to erase everything. And you're going to say, yes, do it. Okay? It'll take a second. It'll run up all of its pieces, and then a little status bar will run right here. And when it's all finished, it'll say, great, your drive's all attached and ready to go. Now, for those of you that are going to go with the PC and Mac, back and forth, you can choose this exFAT. Same thing. Name, call it exFAT, apply, and it will say, are you sure? Because this is going to erase Jerusalem, and it's going to call it Drusilla. I don't want to do that. I use Jerusalem all the time, so I won't do it. But you will hit Partition there, and that Yes Partition button will go through, erase, reset your drive, and basically build it up for you to use on a PC and a Mac. So those are your two choices, Mac OS Extended Journaled and exFAT for both PC or Mac. That's all you need to know. If you wanted to get crazy, you can split it into two partitions and actually make it into two drives. And that way you just click on this one. You can name one Mac and keep it Mac external. Come down to the second one, name it PC, or something funny. You know, you can give them names. You can have personality. It's okay. But on this one, you would change it to either exFAT or MS-DOS-FAT. You'd one or the other, and that would make basically so that you had a separation. It's almost like they operate as two different drives. And when you plug this into your PC, you'd never be able to see this one because it's Mac OS, but you'd always be able to see this one. And on a Mac, you'd be able to see both of them as separate hard drives. Again, that's getting crazy. I found that you can just do this one partition, give it a name, keep it Mac if you're going to go all Mac, or change it to exFAT if you're going to go PC. Give it a name, apply, boom, 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 you're done. Hopefully that was helpful for you. When you're done, you'll have... I'll quit out of this. When you're done, you'll see that your drive pops up here, and you can go back to do the same thing where you hit Command I to check out that info box and make sure that it's set up as either exFAT or Mac OS Extended, and either of those should work for what we're doing in Final Cut 10. I don't know if you can hear that, but my kid is banging on the door. That is awesome. Alright, rock on. I wish you the best.